Hey Kelly, how are you? Hey Mark, how are you? Hey everybody, good to see you. How's everybody doing today? Let me know what's happening in your world. How's it going? Is the phone ringing or what? Anyway, today we're going to talk about a few things, okay? I want to talk about, getting digital. Everybody's talking about getting digital, aren't they? I had to just smile and chuckle at a few things that I've watched occur in the last 30 days. People who used to really advocate for the knock on the door concept, you know what I'm saying? The handshake concept, the face-to-face concept, all of that is kind of going to the wayside, isn't it? Those gurus have had to re-pivot their messages, haven't they? And they've had to figure out how to go digital. Well, it's always times like this where, where you can go back to the basics. The basics in marketing and the basics in business never change, do they? They really don't. A basic sales funnel is not about, it's not anything new, is it? It's one of the basics. Hey, Mark, what you got? Let's see. What about door hangers, though? Yeah, if you can just run through your neighborhood and slip a door hanger on, if that's what you want to do, that's good. It's touchless, and yep, that can be done, absolutely. I'm more of a not so physical kind of person, all right? That's just what I am. I'm an introvert, and I'm a phlegmatic, so I'm pretty lazy. I'm going to figure out how to create a sales funnel, and I'm going to funnel people through my website. You know what I'm saying? That's more my gig, That's more my gig. So I don't have to change my message. I don't have to change anything that I've been doing for the last several years because it's now in fashion again. I feel like a 1970s pair of blue jeans, where I'm back in fashion again. I had to help my daughter hunt for a pair of bell bottoms. Last year, she had to have a pair of bell bottoms, and the wider the bell was what she was hunting for, and I had to just laugh at myself because I used to wear those, and it's like everything goes around comes around, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to talk about the difference between lead ads, for example, today. Hey Tammy, how are you? I wanted to talk about the difference between lead ads and website retargeting, okay? So both, there's so many different ways to have a funnel. There isn't really, you need to kind of feel yourself out and feel your market out and feel out what kind of bandwidth you've got to maintain it. Like I said, if you've got the bandwidth to maintain putting a hanger on every door in your farm area, then that's for you, if that's what you're comfortable with. I don't have the bandwidth to do that, okay? I'm not gonna go walk my neighborhood. I'm not that physical, okay? I'm gonna work within my means, and if it sounds like something's interesting and you wanna learn how to do that, we can teach you, okay? But lead ads versus website retargeting, for example. Lead ads right now, all Facebook marketing is at a premium right now. It is so cheap to advertise on Facebook right now, honestly. Even the people that are doing lead ads that are normally ecstatic, if they get a lead that costs them $1 to $4, they're happy. Okay, so that's one way to build at that cost, $1 to $4, and be happy with the lead ads. Versus, for example, website retargeting. My ad costs, I create my audience with a video view, and I spend about a penny a second for that consumer to watch my videos, all right? And then they're retargeted and traffic is driven to my website. So for me to retarget and get somebody to land on my website, it's costing me about 54 cents today. I just looked this morning. I'm test running 2 separate retarget ads. One's running at about 96 cents for a landing page, and one is running at about 56 cents. Okay, that means I pay 56 cents for somebody to land on my landing page on my website. Okay, then, I can retarget that website activity, all right, which is so much cheaper, all right? Now, what you're depending on here, for example, is your lead capture on your website, right? That's what you're depending on. That means you have to have an excellent tool to drive that traffic to. I mean, you can't have just any willy-nilly website that doesn't have IDX and it's just says all the good things about you, and it's nothing. What is that? A resource of information for the consumer? They're not going to buy it. They're not going to hang around. They're not going to visit your website. They're not going to plug into it. You got to have an IDX. And, sounds pretty basic, doesn't it? But you'd be surprised how many agents just don't have an IDX connected to their website. Okay, so there's that, right? Hey, Kendall, how are you? So make sure that you've got the right tools to do the right job, right? That's why people get frustrated running Facebook ads, because they don't have the tools on the back end to lead capture and to nurture, all right? This market going forward is not going to be a slam dunk market, okay? So if you are a slam dunk real estate agent, right, meaning you don't nurture a database, you are hunting for the hottest prospect to be able to nail them down, get them pre-qualified, sell them a home in 30 days, and move on to the next individual, okay? If that's the only skill you've got, you're gonna be in trouble. I mean, honestly, I'm telling you, Tammy will probably tell you, and so will Kendall. If you survived the last market crash, you saw realtors dropping like flies because they had no clue how to nurture an audience or establish referral relationships. And they didn't survive. They didn't survive the market because they're a hit and miss business model. And, it works when the market is hot, right? But if that's the only skill you develop in your real estate career or your business, that means you're only going to survive a hot market. And, let's face it, your broker hands you enough business in a hot market to survive. And you never really develop the skills to build a business of your own that can sustain you, right? That's what you have to do ultimately. You have to invest in your own business and your own tools. You know what I'm saying? I know people love their brokers, and that's okay. You can love your broker, but still have your own tools and your own business and your own lead generation and your own nurture process, okay? And your own sales funnel, because that's what it's gonna take moving forward. That's what it's gonna take to survive, because, I understand we're trying to get up and running. This is a ripple effect. This is a rippling effect, okay? You have to wait for the ripple, because don't get happy. Just because they're opening up the country, don't get happy, because it's a ripple effect. And you need to be prepared now. You need to be preparing now if you haven't in the past, you need to start thinking about what kind of sales funnels you can create. Okay, and how you can make them as automated as possible, as touchless as possible, as video as possible. Okay, that's right, Kendall. Yeah, never rely on your broker. I mean, anyone who relies on their broker is going to be out of business, because you're just sitting there waiting to be fed. And there isn't going to be anything for them to feed you with. Okay, because it's all a hit and miss, hot prospect only business model, right? You gotta look at that. You gotta look at that. If you don't have the ability to sustain and nurture a relationship for a 2-year period. I mean, that's what you should be establishing and creating a process that's going to be sustainable long term, right? You have to think about all the logistics and make sure that all of the dots connect so that it requires as minimal effort physically on your part to generate business, okay? Because you're going to want your marketing to be your juggernaut, okay? Because it's all going to be going in that direction, okay? It is all going to be going in that direction. And you need to get those systems in place, okay? That's right, Tammy, that's right. Nobody's gonna feed you. Nobody is gonna feed you. And like I'm saying, it's not gonna be tough. I mean, real estate is, like I said before, I always say that, your commodity is a roof over someone's head, all right? So you can always be here, but the problem is you have to figure out how you're gonna be able to financially survive yourself and keep your business moving forward. That means you've got to figure out how to find the people who are buying in the times like this, okay? It's okay, we still have real buyers on the table, and we will for a while. We will for a while. I mean, the government's throwing enough damn cash at this thing, right? All right? But it's a house of cards. It's a house of cards, and it will catch up. It will catch up with itself, okay? Nothing we haven't survived before, but you got to be prepared. You have to prepare now for next year, okay? Sales funnels don't just magically get put in place and you have 100 freaking leads coming in your door. It just doesn't happen like that, on social media. I don't know if you've ever tried to send a digital invite to a party and you never know if somebody's coming or not, right? You always have to physically reach out and make a phone call. Long gone are the days where you send a physical invitation in the mail with an RSVP, right? You know what I'm saying? You have to reach out 33 times to a prospect electronically to build that know, like, and trust, right? Used to be, a postcard for 8 weeks and then this and then that and boom, It's not like that in the digital world. It really, really isn't. You have to be able to nurture those people, keep them entertained, inspire them to buy a home, encourage them, let them know that there are ways, even when you don't think that you can qualify to buy a home. You know what I'm saying? Most first-time home buyers, if you're in that type of market, most first-time home buyers generally don't even have the confidence to know whether they can qualify or not. And you have to convey that knowledge and that information to attract them into your ecosystem, right? So that you can continue to educate them and nurture them and be the one that inspires them to buy their first home. Because I love first-time home buyers, don't you? I mean, sometimes when you're at the table with a first-time home buyer, they're so excited. They are so grateful. You know what I mean? And if you have the ability to nurture that relationship for the next 5 to 7 years, because trust me, you're going to need to sell a house 5 to 7 years from now too, right? You've got to be able to nurture those relationships. And if you nurture a first-time home buyer, oh my God, they refer all their friends. They refer all their friends to you, and they are absolutely going to buy their next home from you, okay? So when you get that kind of a foundation built, that's how you sustain 20 years in this business, all right? That's how you sustain 20 years in the real estate business. I can tell you that from experience, okay? If you're gonna wanna beat your head up the wall and try and work only hot prospects, you're gonna get too goddamn tired, let me tell you what. In the first market blip, you're not gonna be here. You're not gonna survive, I've talked to agents who were in the previous market that had built huge 145 agents under them. You know how difficult it is to motivate and keep 145 agents moving forward? Because that's all he could teach them, right? He didn't sustain. He dropped like a rock. I mean, a lot of people did. You know, a lot of people did. So it's not anything to say, bad or good. And he acknowledges it. This is the conversation we've had. You know, he understands. He saw that happen. And today he's more wiser. Okay? That was the conversation that we had. You know, he was an agent back then, had 145 agents under him. And, you know, that's what he told me. It dropped like a rock. You know? That's the difference, right? There's a difference between sales and marketing too. Yes, that's correct. That's actually on my list to talk about too. There's a difference. What Kendall's saying is there's a difference between advertising and a difference between marketing, right? Right? Advertising, you're just selling something. You're selling a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for $400,000. You know, blah, 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 blah. That's what you got. That's what your marketing is based on. And if that's all you've got to offer in your marketing, you're not attracting. You're not attracting. Okay? You have to think about your sales funnel. You have to have a marketing piece that you can run consistently, that is timeless, that is evergreen, and that continues to attract your ideal customer avatar. It has to be a marketing piece that is so subliminal, right? It's so inviting, right? You know, that they're going to see it 33 times in their news feed and they're going to be comfortable with it, all right? That's what marketing does for your brand versus advertising, right? Kendall knows. Kendall knows, you know? I mean, that's what you have to focus on moving forward. All right. So if you don't know how to do that, if you're not comfortable with that, reach out to me. Reach out to me. We can help you with that. Okay. So, you know, that's it for today. I want to share. I don't know about your state. Here's my mask. Is everyone being masked? Like I said, I try to explain to my husband, this is the whole new world. I don't care if you want to wear a mask or not. Society wants you to wear a mask. All right. My husband is one of those people that just don't want to wear a mask, right? You know, but so I had some custom made. I had a girlfriend. She's actually a tenant, although I manage the property that she rents for the owner. Okay. And they had an embroidery business. Kelly knows this story. I just want to share the samples. I've gotten both samples from her today. But she's one of my best friends. Like I said, I've managed the property for probably over 10 years. She's been my tenant. And we've grown to be good friends, right? Well, they have an embroidery business, and they usually provide all of our school systems with the uniforms and our sport leagues, our local little town sport leagues. Maryland, I saw that is required to start wearing all masks in public, right? So I told her to retool her business. You know, she needed to think outside the box because in a day, all of her contracts with our local school systems and our local sporting leagues were canceled in a single day. All right? You know what I'm saying? She was distraught, you know? I said, girlfriend, you got all that machinery. You can sew. You need to mass produce these things. And we kind of worked out a design. And this is the style I prefer. I like this one. Okay. Gives you a little breathing room in there. It's got all the proper filter systems in there. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be the fashion icon thing for the next 18 months. Let me tell you. This is how society is going to psychologically change. We're going to be required to have masks, okay? All right, this is another style. This bottom loop goes around the neck. I don't know if I care for this style yet, but it is convenient because it can, you know, just hang on you, right? And then you pull the string up and you tie it behind you, right? Very simple. I like this design too. However, I don't like it tying up my hair. So go ahead and just find you something that is fashionable. I suggest you get them in every color, right? We happen to wear a lot of black around here. Where can I order masks like yours? I'll tell you what, I will drop her link in the comment section when I finish, okay? She has a store, a website. She's got all the colors and patterns and everything right there on display on her website, and you can order them. I think they're like $12.99 or something like that. Don't quote me on that, because I get the friends and family discount. Okay? But I will drop her link to the website, okay? And like I said, I feel kind of like a ninja. I don't know about you. But I do like the style. I like this style as opposed to just the square over my face. So I kind of borrowed the idea or the concept from my daughter. Now, my daughter has always worn face masks because she travels a lot, or at least used to. And she has always, doesn't matter where she was going. If she was getting on a plane, she wore a face mask. You know, so now she just feels like she's been just, you know, like it's all justified for her now. All right, let me see. Yeah, Mark, go ahead and ask a couple of questions. Absolutely. Marketing and Messenger. Okay, so you're talking about Messenger bots. You got a couple of questions there. I will tell you, I am not a bot person. I will be honest with you. I don't do bots. I don't teach bots. Okay, so I don't know how helpful I'll be for you. In my opinion, go ahead and push your question there and I'll keep talking. But in my opinion, you know, your avatar is going to be just like you. Okay, so as soon as you nail down exactly who your avatar is, right, you'll find that out. So if you're comfortable with bots, and your avatar is comfortable with bots, you're probably going to be successful with bots, right? I don't like bots. I don't do bots. I don't offer bots, okay? The bots that I've seen, in my opinion, the only good purpose that I've seen them actually serve for me, for example, is to get a notification from an influencer, for example, that they're about to go live, you know, or some teaching or a master class, we're about to go live, or you can punch here and watch it on YouTube, okay? I like that. That works for me. So unless you're going to maybe be doing a lot of lives and you can mirror that with your audience and use that as a tool to, you know, get your audience involved with your lives or your videos or your YouTube channel or things like that, I think that works when it comes to bot messaging. But I don't know. I don't know about buying a piece of real estate through a bot. You know? Let's see. My question's about Facebook marketing. I have KV Core and I'm using landing pages on Facebook but having problems. Okay, so you have to look at, for example, go ahead and tell me what your problem is, because I'm only guessing until you give me more information, okay? So I have KV Core and I'm using landing pages on Facebook, but you're having problems. So what problems are you having? I mean, are your ads not getting approved? Do your landing pages require lead capture? What happens when your consumer lands on your landing page? Okay, so you as yourself should travel your own funnel, right? There's a blog post that's on my website somewhere for that. You should travel your own funnel. When you set up an ad, you need to, okay, what happens when the consumer looks at that ad? When they Facebook isn't giving me permission to boost posts. Okay. If you're not getting, you know, there could be so many things that Facebook is not giving your posts approval, right? That could be a dozen reasons. You know what I'm saying? And until I dive deep into that with you, like I said, it could be any number of things. It could be your audience, okay? It could be your demographics. You know, as a real estate agent, you have to market between 18 and 65. You have to market a minimum 15-mile radius of your pinpoint on your landing on your targeting, so there are an array of things that Facebook could be rejecting your ad for. Okay, and we would really have to just dive deep into that. It wouldn't be something I could help you with here on a live. Okay, all right. So, but I can guess what's happening there for you. All right. So, is there anything else? I mean, you can go ahead and I can give you some options if you want to continue to work with me, and I can help you work that out. Okay? So you can drop me a private message if you'd like. Okay? All right? Okay. Anybody else? Anything else happening out there in the world? I am going to do this. I want to tell you I did this. You got to think of ways, like I said, you got to think of ways to connect with your audience on a more virtual level. And last Friday, I'll tell you, we were sitting here just shooting the shit in the afternoon, and Jake said, you should have a virtual cocktail party. And I got a little group. It's called It's a Florida Thing. It's only about 200 friends and family in this group that I post stuff into this group that I don't like to post on my personal news feed, right? Raunchy stuff mostly, right? So it's kind of a raunchy meme video shareability group, right? We have a lot of fun in there, okay? So there's probably about 200 people in this group that we're kind of a little network in here. And we did a virtual cocktail party. And we had about 4 or 5 people get on the screen with us and chat, and we all had drinks. And it was fun. It was a little chaotic because it was spur of the moment. I didn't really plan it, but I thought, yeah, we're going to keep doing this. So think of something like that. Like I know Nicole Gates does cooking on her personal news feed. I've watched her cook, and some other people starting to do some things virtually. And I think it's going to be the name of the game. You got to start something and create something that, like I said, you can maintain, something that has continuity, and once I get this kind of worked out a little bit, it'll be something that I'll do ultimately on my business page. But for right now, I'm kind of test marketing it out a little bit in this little group. So I'll keep you posted on how this works. Now, when we unpacked it, we did it last Friday night. It was Friday night at 8 o'clock. I created the event in the group, and I invited everybody in the group, all right? So so there was a lot of activity, I had people call me at 11 o'clock that night and say, how come I didn't get an invitation to that? Like, they heard about it, Like, well, are you even in the group? Well, how come I'm not in your group? I'm like, hey, jump in, jump in. The water's warm. I can't, can't be responsible for inviting everybody in there, but jump in. It's a public group. So I don't know how they heard about it, but they did. So think of something you can have fun with. Like I said, I'm going to work out the details. We unpacked what we did, and we decided that if I had a girlfriend on there, that we can control the conversation a little bit and invite 4 or 5 other people, whoever else wanted to be on camera with us. Not everyone's comfortable with that, but some people have webcams, and I had a customer get on there and talk. So it was fun, and then a couple of my nephews did too. But have a girlfriend sat there so that at least the 2 of you, this is why Johnny Carson had a co-host, right? So he's got somebody to talk to, you know what I'm saying? And then everybody else can come and go into the Zoom link, or I happen to have used StreamYard. Okay, StreamYard.com. That's the platform that I used. I like it because you can put the banners up. So we were asking questions in the group and acknowledging people who were posting and questioning, and we were answering to the posts. So as long as you can keep it, I think, organized a little bit and not let it be chaotic like mine was, right? We're going to do better tonight. We're going to have it again tonight at 8 o'clock. So my group is called It's a Florida Thing, if you want to find it, and jump in the group. join us for a cocktail party tonight, right? Get your webcam dusted off. You know what I mean? Jump in. The water's warm. All right? How many of you are going live on your pages? Are you going consistently live on your page at least once a week? Go ahead and tell me in the comments if you're going live or if you have not ventured there. Right? Going live is, I'm an introvert. I am totally an introvert. So if I can do this, anybody can do this, right? Kelly's an introvert too, but she's got it going on. She does. You know, when you take the time and you do it right and you practice, it gets more and more comfortable. It gets more and more easy, and you have more confidence. You know, when you set up a little stage, a little studio, all you need is a corner of a room. You know what I'm saying? Kelly went with a brick background that matched her branding that's on her group's cover photos and her page photos. She's keeping her branding all the same. She's from Baltimore. So she has totally revamped all of her marketing and her branding to go with the brick colonial that is so prominent in the Baltimore market. So that's what she's kind of branded herself with. And she's got a great green screen that's a brick wall. And she's got it going on. She's got it moving forward. These are the things that you have to think about. You know, what is going to make you feel comfortable to do a live show consistent, okay? Right? You have to do it consistently. Once a week, that's all you need. Once a week, email to nurture your database. These are all the basics, right?